Hello and welcome to the Tough Cover Podcast, the gambling podcast right here on the Painted Lines. I am Mark Henry Jr. and you can follow me at Mark Henry Jr. _ and you can follow the Painted Lines where you're watching this at the Painted Lines, and you can subscribe where you might be watching this on YouTube and put on post notifications. On today's show, I am diving in to the college basketball slate with 7 picks here on a full college basketball Saturday. Going to try to keep this fast and sweet a little bit. I've been dipping into the 15 and 20-minute pods. I know it's football season, so I have a little bit more to cover. But since I've got so many picks, I've got so many winners to give you folks, we're going to try to keep it short and sweet, and we're going to try to keep it under 10 minutes. But anyway, we do come in. We had a bad night last night, 1-3. The Sixers absolutely screwed us. I need to stop betting on the Sixers. I don't know why, when I tweet that out, why my followers should be telling me, Mark, stop betting on the Sixers, man. All it does is break your heart. It does. I think I went back and looked, and I'm 2-7 this year in bets involving Sixers games. So that's something that I definitely am going to kind of halt going forward. Stop betting on the Sixers. But let's stop talking about the NBA. I stink at the NBA. I'm like 12-21 in my last 33 NBA bets, but I think I'm 8-2 in my last 10 college basketball bets. I think I'm 51-29 in my last 80 college basketball bets. So we're hot in the college basketball hardwood. Let's stay on it with 7 picks here today. And without any further ado, let's get ready to gamble. I didn't have it in my voice to do a full-on Michael Buffer there. I started it, couldn't reach down deep enough. Haven't been awake long enough. But let's get started at 2 o'clock on Saturday. We're starting with the A10. We're starting with the Atlantic 10. George Mason, -4.5 at LaSalle. Big play here, 5.5 units to win 5 units. LaSalle is 2-9 against the spread at home, 6-13 against the spread overall. They failed to cover 3 of their last 4. They failed to cover the last 3 games in which the spread was single digits. The LaSalle Explorers are not a friend to the gambling community. George Mason, on the other hand, has 4 scorers in double digits who all shoot it very efficiently from deep, as opposed to LaSalle, who only has 3 scorers in double figures, and none of them are extremely efficient. George Mason's 8-2 in the last 10 against the spread, much more of a friend of the gambling community. Give me the George Mason Patriots over the LaSalle Explorers, -4.5, 5.5 units to win 5 units. And now let's get to another team that used to be in the A10, a team that's near and dear to some of my followers' hearts, the Temple Owls, -3 versus Tulsa. I'm taking the Owls -3 for 3 units. Temple has covered 4 straight. Temple is 12-7 against the spread. Temple beat Tulsa by 5 in a game that they weren't even hot yet, and they didn't even play well in. And a lot of it is because of Damian Dunn, this recent success in that game against Tulsa. Damian Dunn, he's an absolute stud. I'm all in. He's filling up the stat sheet lately. I think he had 27 last game. He's become Temple's best player, and I'm pretty sure he's a sophomore. So really young guy to be excited about if you're a Temple fan. But I'm going Temple -3 for 3 units. And then I've got 4 2 o'clock games. My third 2 o'clock game, I've got Syracuse -6.5 versus Louisville for 4 units. Syracuse is really, really shallow, but they have 5 guys scoring double digits, while Louisville has 0. Same record, but I think Syracuse is the better team, and I think they get a win here at home, even in a down year for Syracuse. Louisville is 1-11 against the spread in their last 12, 2-5 against the spread on the road. Syracuse is 8-3 straight up at home. The Carrier Dome will be rocking. Louisville is coming off of a brutal OT loss to UNC, where the refs really did stick it to Louisville a little bit. I think they come out flat. I think Syracuse gets up early, and I think they control the pace of the game. So give me Syracuse -6.5. And getting to my last 2 o'clock bet, I've got Tulane -7.5 at ECU for 1 unit. So that means I've got 4 favorites at 2 o'clock. I've got a couple underdogs later, but it's funny that I went all favorites in my early games. And this is more of a this is more of a bet against ECU than it is on Tulane, but Tulane has covered 4 straight. But ECU is dreadful. ECU is 1-4 in their last 5 against the spread and 0-5 straight up. And I don't know if any of you out there took the Temple play. That was my best bet a few days ago. But Temple did not play well in that game, and they still handled that game and won, kind of led end to end. But it was not a game where you walk away saying, oh, wow, Temple played really well and ECU played well and they just couldn't get it done. Both teams played really poorly, especially ECU, who couldn't hit anything. Some of the sloppiest offense I've ever seen was from ECU in last game. So I expect more of the same. I expect Tulane to show that they are also a much better team than East Carolina. At 4 o'clock, the game of the day, top 10 match. I guess you could say Duke UNC is the game of the day. I don't have a play on that. I think Duke wins it. I think they probably cover. I lean Duke. That's probably the biggest game because it's the biggest rivalry. But Baylor-Kansas is probably the most impactful game in terms of seeding this year and these two teams and where they're at right now. There's two top 10 teams in one of the best conferences in basketball. I'm going with the team that I just think is the better team. I don't have a ton of stats here, but I'm going with Baylor. I'm going with Baylor plus 2.5 at Kansas for 3 units. Kansas is 1-4 in their last 5 against the spread, 2-6 in their last 8 against the spread, and 3-7 in their last 10 against the spread. I trust the championship pedigree of this Baylor team over Kansas, even with Agbaji and Remy Martin back in the game for the Kansas Jayhawks. I'll take Baylor plus 2.5 for 3 units. Let's get to 5 o'clock. I'm respecting the troops a little bit here. I've got the Navy midshipmen minus 2.5 at Loyola, Maryland for Maryland. Loyola, Maryland for 2 units. Navy is 10-5 against the spread as a favorite, while Loyola is 0-4-1 in their last 5 against the spread. Don't know why Loyola, Maryland is tripping my tongue up so much, but I've actually got Navy minus 1.5 here. I don't know why I have 2.5 written. I got this early at Navy minus 1.5 for 2 units. And then, so without any further ado, let's get to my favorite play of the day. I've got the Miami Hurricanes. It's all about the U at UVA plus 4, 6.5 units to win 6 units. That's my best bet. I'm pretty sure last Saturday when I came on, Miami might have been my best bet that day too. Miami's been very good to me, and they're coming off of a bounce back spot here because they lost at Notre Dame last game. I think they bounce back here. I think they win this game, let alone cover. And I think Virginia's in for a letdown spot. They've kind of traded wins and losses all year long, and Virginia's only 6-8 against the spread as a favorite. So give me the Miami Hurricanes plus 4 at Virginia. I think they're the better team, flat out. Give me Cam McGusky. Give me Charlie Moore. Give me Miller. I think Miami's got dudes this year. And they're a team that, I don't know if they're a 6, 7, 8, 9 seed, probably in that range in the tournament. They're a team I would not want to be facing in the second round, let alone the first round for a higher seeded team. So Miami is a team that I am spending a lot of attention on here. I think Miami comes out strong tonight. But let's recap my plays here at the end, and let's keep it under 10 minutes. I've got George Mason minus 4.5, 5.5 units to win 5 units at LaSalle. I've got Temple minus 3 versus Tulsa for 3 units. I've got Syracuse minus 6.5 versus Louisville for 4 units. I've got Tulane minus 7.5 versus ECU for 1 unit. I've got Baylor plus 2.5 at Kansas for 3 units. I've got Navy minus 1.5 at Loyola, Maryland for 2 units. And I've got Miami plus 4 at Virginia for my best bet, 6.5 units to win 6 units. That's at 5 o'clock, saving the best for last here on the Tough Cover podcast. And thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of the Tough Cover Click, and enjoy the winners.